Now we're going to take a look at how you start from a new document and do the same thing that we did with using the existing document. So I'm going to hit, the first thing I'm going to do is hit new blank page. Okay? The page title doesn't really matter. You can just click OK for this, because all of this stuff, this is all for static web pages. You're just going to delete it all. But at least it puts you in HTML space, so it's going to highlight everything correctly. So now we're going to go to our regular word processor. Okay, this is, I actually like to use a regular, I don't use Word, but I use a similar kind of thing that will, just because I like the spell check and I just like the way it behaves. So this is my standard long paragraph kind of article. And so you copy it all, Control C to copy it, and then Control V to paste it. Now, as you can see, Coffee Cup does not retain that word wrap setting apparently. So I have no word wrapped columns. But before you do word wrap, it is a very good idea to just highlight each line and use the P tag. You see this right here, paragraph right here? That wraps it in a paragraph tag. So before you put on word wrap, because it's all right there and you don't have to do any scrolling, just put your P tags in. Okay? Now on WordPress, when you're in the text mode of WordPress, not the WYSIWYG, you don't actually have to do this, because for some strange reason, it retains your paragraph breaks if you have them in the text. I don't know why it does that, but it does that. So now but I put them in anyway, because at some future point there might be a build of WordPress that decides to deprecate that, and it will no longer do it. So we would have articles with all of the paragraphs running together. Not that my paragraphs are not already too long. So now we're going to go into View and the split screen, which you can also hit F12. So that's going to show us the split screen. I don't know why it's doing this. Oh, it's because this, you see this character here? You see this CCID3 here? This is not being recognized. For some reason, the word processor I use doesn't have a oh no, that wasn't it. One second. Huh. So I don't know what this is. I don't know what this means down here, but it doesn't show on the browser. So I guess I was wrong about what it is. So right now what we have is word wrap paragraphs on the bottom. We don't have them on the top. If you want to use word wrap, I prefer to work in word wrap. What you would do is toggle word wrap again here. Boom. So that gives us a similar look top and bottom. So now, if you were going to put the author at the top, you'd put in the by kind of thing, and then yeah, there's something that CCD equals for. I don't know what that is, but you can, the same thing. You can put that in its own paragraph, and then you would also do the link that we use. The standard link we use is a regular old link, and this actually lets you put in the link text. So you would put in Cult Firearms. I don't know what they actually call themselves on the website. I think it is Cult Firearms. See, and that actually didn't put in the link because I didn't put it in, but I think it's something like Cult MFG or something like that. Oh no, I think it's Cult.com now. So Cult Firearms. And then you would also wrap this in a P tag if you want to separate it out, which we do. And then after this quote right there, before the greater than sign, That's when you're going to go over to your snippets here and use the, what did I call it? Oh, I changed versions here, so I'm not going to have it in this. So I'm going to stop my screen capture. And oh no, I do have it, link variables. So see, class equals click tracking, campaign equals blot, target equals blank. So it did retain them. So I'm going to go put my cursor back up here, and then I'm going to double click link variables, and then I just type in my campaign, which is Colt 2012. Okay. So I guess this is ugly. So I guess what we've done in the past, I just realized what we've done in the past is actually we put the URL in the blue in the link, and then we put above it, we put Colt Firearms here. But as you can see down here, this is an interesting thing about HTML. HTML is contiguous. So unless you put a code in telling it what to render, it renders everything as a straight line, and it evaporates white space. See, I can hit the space bar here, and all I'm going to pick up is one space. I can hit this space bar ad nauseum, but HTML collapses white space. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go back up to this menu up here, and I'm going to put a that's a non-breaking space, line break right there. See this line break? It puts a break tag. So what that did is, you see, look down here, is it kicked the URL down the way we use it. It's just a BR in the less than equal than, but you've got it here. You've got your P and you've got your break. So a break is basically a single return, a single hard return on a typewriter, and a P is a double hard return. And this is wrapping. You can actually just put the P tag without the on both sides of a paragraph, but this is kind of correct, so we'll do it. So as you can see down here, we are now, except for this thing here, I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe if I get rid of this. Yep, look at that. Interesting. It's still doing it though. I don't know why it's doing it. I guess maybe because there were two P tags in a row. I don't know. But when I took off the P tags on that, now it's back. Forget it. So don't worry about it. It doesn't show in the browser anyway. It's some kind of bug in the system. So now I'm going to move on and start to do images, because as you can see, we have no images yet. So I usually put my first image up here. And the thing about HTML, like you'll see, is that it's it's all really it's like a block. So it doesn't necessarily look in the code the way it's going to look on the thing. So let me image and caption table. See here. Go back to that. I'm going to double click that, and it put in my image table. See? Now I've got a space to put that image in. So now I actually, to save time, put these images into WordPress. I usually call one of my images cover, but otherwise you would just use whatever. I'm going to go into the one that I called cover. And again, it's you highlight over here, double click that so it all lights up blue, Control C, and then Control Tab, Alt Tab, I'm sorry, back to your thing, and we're over here. Inside of these blue quotes, you're going to put the same URL. You're going to Control V the same URL. I'm really big on keyboard shortcuts, so you'll hear me using keyboard shortcuts. And then whatever you get for a caption, There you go. So there's a, I guess I should have locked that table at 400. I'm going to have to send you an update of that because that's really important because it was stretching the caption. It wasn't wrapping the caption. So there is our first image. So now I'm going to stop the recording and do some other images, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how to do the block at the bottom with the leftover images, because I have something like 14 images for this article. Only about 5 of them are going to fit. So I'm going to stop the recording and then I will be back. The first thing I'm doing is I'm creating a new block of code to send to Shannon that I'm going to save myself. Again, I'll show you how to do this. Is highlight it, save selected text as snippet. You can do it by right-clicking. It's also up here in the File menu as snippet. And I'm going to put it as image image pairs table for bottom. Okay? So it'll be next to the eye and the image thing. So it'll be over here. See, this one. But there's a trick to this that, let me just explain the way the code works in this. You see, I've set this to 820 pixels wide for two 400 pixel images each. So this is the two images and then the two captions. So for every row you need all of this because you have two table rows. The top one has the images, the second one has the captions. That means that this row goes to the top image of captions. This caption goes to the bottom image of caption. So that's the way this works. Now, if you want to do this, watch what I'm doing here. I'm just going to highlight the inside of this and leave the table thing here and the table here. And then I'm going to save this as a snippet. And I'm going to put image pairs add a row. Okay? So now I don't have to copy and paste anything if I want another row. I just go above this end table here, and it didn't go away. I just put it down more. So I'm going to go into the eyes over here, and image pairs add a row. Gunk, gunk, right there. Now you see I have 2 rows of images. Okay? And you're just going to do the same thing with them until you're done. And if you have an extra, you can't fit it into pairs, what I usually do is I drop one. I just drop one that seems insignificant, or I try to fit one more in the top inside the text. Those are my 2 approaches, rather than try to do it so that there is a way you can do it with HTML very easily, but it's too complicated for what we're doing here. All right, so that's the way this is, and now I'm going to stop the recording again and go back to filling it in. Okay, I am now down at my last one, and as you can see, I just did the last comment, and the only thing below that you really need is that you'll see at the end it'll be and then the table tag. So that's pretty much the text of your document here. We're going to now put this into WordPress to see if it looks similar to this. You'll see that I squeezed my screen down so that this is closer to the real estate that we're working with on the WordPress window, which is probably around here. So you see my text ends there, and my doubles start after that. And it's a little odd looking, blah, 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 but it'll work. And the way I did that is, you'll see I'm going to edit. I edited this one, where is it? I edited the image and caption table. This is the edit, the middle button up here, so that it's going to have a break clear equals all in it. So this is how you save. If you want to edit the snippets, you just save them, and then if you want it to come up next, it puts in whatever's here. So if you just click on another one and then click back, you'll see that the break clear equals all that I just typed in is in there. So that's how you get it, because whatever's in this left panel here, when you click on it, that's what's going to go here. To the right panel, when you either click this button up here, this insert them into the current document, or you double click over here. So that's the way it works. So I'm going to send you the updated this with the table width of 400 and the break clear equals all. Oh, I put that in the wrong place. No, I did it in the wrong one. So I'm going to take that out of there. So the what did I call that before? It didn't make any sense. Anyway, I'll find it. Image pairs, table for bottom. Oh, table for bottom. Here it is. All right, so maybe it did make sense. So I'm going to edit this and put clear break equals all. Table for bottom, that's the one. And then remember, this whole thing in the middle here, this is your middle. And then when you want to put another row in, you put your cursor right there before the end table tag, and then you hit the add a row. Okay? So I'm not going to do that here because I'm editing the snippet. So I'll save the snippet, and my snippets are fixed. Okay? So now we're back to the document, and I am going to capture. I'm going to highlight all the text. The easier way to do this is actually to do select all and then copy. And now I'm going to go over to WordPress. Now I'm here at WordPress. Now before I show you that, I'd like to show you one thing, is that one nice thing I just figured out is that when you're in this WordPress screen, right after you drag all your images into the drop files here, it gives you this thing at the bottom after it munches them. And when you click edit on these, it actually pops you up a new window, which is really good, because then you don't have to hit your back button. You can just capture this and then X the window and do the next one. So now I already brought up the add post here. Okay, so I'm gonna tab out of here and let it do my the line thing, and then I'm gonna Control V into the box. That's all I did. I'm in the text tab of WordPress. I don't know why this didn't create me a URL yet. That's weird. Usually up there it is. It showed up finally. Okay, so all I did is I'm in the text tab, not the visual tab. So I don't even go into the visual tab because it screws up all my links. And then I just click preview, which opens a new window. While I'm working, I don't save as a draft unless I have to. But since you're doing it in another program now, you really don't need to do that whole save draft thing. You can just, when you're ready to put it in and go do all the fields, you just put it in and go do all the fields. You see, these need a v-align equals top, that's all. And I will add that to these. But here we are. This is basically the same thing that we saw in the WYSIWYG editor. It padded a little space over here but for the most part, it's just about the same stuff. So that's pretty much it. This is your overview of how to do this, and then when you I am going to save this as a draft because I'm going to let you finish up all the other fields in it. But when you want to publish it, you just publish it, and it's done. So I will stop there and stop my recording, and have fun.